Hi, I'm with Rachel Livingstone, a qualified specialist with exercise, particularly with women who are pregnant and in their postnatal time. Rachel's agreed to chat to me about pregnancy and exercising. Hi Rachel, thank you for chatting with me.
Thank you for asking me.
So, tell me about exercise. It's what many girls or women want to keep doing, but how safe is it, particularly for them in the first trimester?
Well, Lynn, let's dispel all the myths that are out there. The first thing people do is Google, and you get a lot of out-of-date information or information that people have just popped up there with maybe not the qualifications to go with it. So unless your doctor expressly tells you otherwise, it is safe and beneficial to exercise in pregnancy. In the first trimester, the placenta is forming, and the thicker and more juicy and better supplying the placenta is, the better the supply system to the baby throughout the pregnancy. So we start to see why it is actually of benefit to exercise in pregnancy. Having said that, you do want to go moderately.
In that first trimester, many women experience a lot of nausea, feel incredibly tired. Should they still exercise?
Yeah, this is a difficult one because the last thing you want to do is exercise when you're feeling either sick or just vomiting, tired, headaches, a lot of those things. The good thing about it is at least you know you're pregnant and it slows you down. For the women who don't know they're pregnant, they may still overdo it. They may be sprinting up hills and doing sand dunes and maximum sets because they don't know. So as awful as you feel, try and continue to exercise lightly. Shorter sessions, a little swimming, walking, maybe light seated dumbbell work. The other thing to remember is morning sickness, tiredness, nausea, all those things are made worse if your hydration and your salt and sugar levels change. So what we need to do is make sure that before, during, even if you haven't ever drunk things during your exercise before, and after exercise, you have plenty of water and having salts and sugars in there as well. Right. So this is things like crackers, Staminade, a little bit of water with juice and salt in, whatever you feel like you can palate, in pregnancy, because it does change, it's what you feel you can stomach.
Yes. Well, given that now, that if girls are feeling well, and they've been over-exercising, so can that be a problem too? So if they're well, what happens?
Yeah, so that's it. I often hear, I feel fine, I wouldn't even know I'm pregnant unless the doctor had told me, so should I just continue as I always do? And the answer is yes, but we got to remember that in the first trimester, the baby's central nervous system is forming. So it's very important to keep, your temperature under control, but not to do maximum things that push the body to its limits. So obviously prevention is better than cure if we again stay hydrated before, during and after, but we wear appropriate clothing. If we do feel that kind of creepy heat or claustrophobic heat feeling, then we stop, fan ourselves, sit down, have a rest, have another drink, all those things just to stay safe during this time. It doesn't mean that you can't get a little bit hot, a little bit huffy and puffy. It's just within reason. So it's not that normal heat, it's the core heat temperature going up. That is what's detrimental to the baby in the first trimester. And
what about abdominals? I guess girls want to make sure that they've got baby in front, not extra.
Yeah, this is the big question. So most people stop doing all abdominals because they don't know what is safe. But what we do need is our abdominal work, but in a safe way, because the abdominals are what protects the back, the bump as it's growing, and things like turning over in bed at night, the pelvic floor, which obviously is to do with continence later on, pushing power for birth, and then recovery, whether it's from vaginal delivery or a Caesar. All of that is about the abdominal strength.
Absolutely.
But what we need to do is gentle, regular activation of the core abdominals, not stressing the rectus abdominals, which is the six-pack, because those are already going to be stretched over the bump and under pressure. So you need to kind of forget your traditional abs and go seek out a professional.
Terrific. So, good advice. One piece of final advice, what would it be?
Well, ultimately, listen to your body. Before all the experts came along, nature did its work and made sure that your body would send messages. So if you feel tired or you've had enough one day, then skip a session. If you need to eat, eat. If you need to drink right in the middle of the session, then you do that. And just remember, the professionals are there not only to keep you safe, but also to teach you what is of the most use at this time, because your immediate needs have changed.
Thank you. That was excellent. That'll be a great help. Thanks,
Thank you.
Rachel.